I think some of you know, because I brought it up casually, that I played soccer in high school. You play one sport, you're either a basketball kid, a soccer kid, football kid, or a baseball kid, aka weird, never got pussy. That's just, again, I don't make the rules. So soccer was the sport. And I've always been pretty bad because I was always kind of chubby growing up. My mom can vouch. She said I was chubby, and the reason was because she worked and she didn't have time to feed me. And she didn't, no, not she, that sounded wrong. Hold up. My mother's, first of all, I need to say this because my mother wants me to, I would like to confirm to all the viewers on Twitch and any other platform that my mother is a good mother and does not beat me nor starve me. Sorry, I had to read that. Anyway, my mom was a huge bitch. She worked a bunch. She was a software engineer. And so to get me to stop crying, she would just feed me a bunch. Which, if you think about it, kind of five-head. I mean, you can do the same thing with your dog or cat right now. Your cat meows. If you just feed them, they'll stop 9 times out of 10. Food solves all problems. So I was kind of chubby growing up. Like the doctor said, if this trend continues, you will be obese. But it was just chubby for the time. And so I wasn't very fast and I wasn't very athletic, but I still played soccer. And then I developed friends and all of them played soccer. So I continued to play soccer. I did the camps. I did all that shit. Basically anything to keep me out of home so my mother and father could work. And so I played a bunch, but I was always kind of bad. I played defense. And whenever we switched from like having 7 people on the field to 11, that fucked me up. I don't think I ever got over it. Back when the defense had 2 in there, I was like, Peepo Pog, this is good. And then they had 4, and I was like, what's this motherfucker doing? He's in front of me. I'm on the left now. But so there's a right guy and a left guy, and there's 2 guys in the, I don't get it. A diamond? A rhombus? What is this shape? I was confused. I didn't pick up on it. So I was kind of dog. But it was my sport, and it's what all my friends play. And so my travel team experience, it was fine. I didn't actually make the local team, embarrassingly enough. I grew up in a small town. This is actually embarrassing. My best friend's father was the coach of our local team. And he was the one who did the tryouts. And for 8 years in a row, I never made the team. I would see that fucker literally 2 hours after tryouts to go play N64 at my friend Christian's house. But the day of tryouts, he'd watch my little ass run around and be like, no Meggies. Yeah, the report says big no Meggies, big fat no fucking Meggies. And so I'd have to play like one town over with my other friend who's kind of shit because he was also chubby too. I think he just hated fat people. What's up with that, Bill? What's up, Bill? All right? I still harbor resentment.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And so when middle school came around, I did what everyone does, and I tried out. But tryouts are a lot more stressful. If I fuck it up, I fuck it up. I have no team to go to anymore. But the good news is I'm not selfish. I'm not greedy. I don't need 10 gifted boys. You know this. I don't need a raw tier 1. I'm just looking for a prime. And so when all these motherfuckers start trying out for offense, the defense people are in the back like, how's it going, guys? We'll just sit here waiting for the ball. Whenever the ball comes here, I'll be ready. Till then, I'm chilling. Impact plays only. I've always been an impact player. You know this about me. I've always been impact. And so I'm impact player on defense, and I make the middle school team. And middle school flies by. The only thing I really remember is that one day we tried to see who could make the loudest sound with their ball sack clapping against their ass cheeks by violently thrusting your hips. Outside of that, I don't really remember much. No, I did not win. Connor won, who was also the biggest Chad, had a 6-pack. Who the fuck has a 6-pack when you're 15? What the fuck? He's built like a mini Olympian. I remember one time, real quick aside, we were doing at the end of soccer, you do high fives, and then Connor was like watching the people go by, and he was like, "Damn, all these kids are fat. When they look down, they probably can't even see their dick." Took a shower that night, felt so bad about myself. I still think about that a lot. Anyway, high school hit, and high school tryouts are much more stressful because high school separates you from your friends. It's not like you're on the team And that's good, and that's all people happy. It's like you're either on one of 3 groups. Excuse me, 4 groups. First group, varsity. That's the best. Second group, JV. Third group, freshman team. Or the last group, you didn't make shit. Try another sport, homie. And so, a little nervous. But I go to tryouts. And I'm a freshman. And so it's not like I'm trying to get on varsity here. I know my skill level. I'm trying to hit JV. I ain't greedy. I do the tryout. The one thing I remember from it is this kid, Alex, who was a senior, who's kind of like me, an impact player on defense, who's always kind of dog shit. He tried so hard in this tryout that he literally threw up while running across the field and then went back and played. And literally just because he threw up and went back in, he got varsity. It was the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life. And so then the way they did it is they would tape it. They would literally tape it for all the school to see. Varsity, JV, freshman team. So I did my tryouts. I did the best I could. And then the day when they release it, I go to the front of the school. Huge crowd around the posters because all the sports have their teams. I'm like trying to get in, trying to squeeze my way through. And I look, and a little stupidly, I start with varsity. I'm like, yeah, I'll start with varsity and maybe I'll see if I got that one. Literally only one freshman got on it. I'm like, thank God they didn't pull me up. That way I can hang out with my friends in JV because that's what I really wanted to do. I'm looking through the JV list, all my friends' names, and I'm like, this is weird because my name's Ludwig Ogren. And the one thing that's cool about having a last name Ogren is that it starts with an A. And I should be the first in the list. And I'm like, that's weird. Huh. Look over to the last list. Freshman. And I'm like, first name on the list, Ludwig Ogren. And you might be thinking to yourself, Ludwig, you were a freshman at the time. Why is that big of a deal? It wouldn't be if the freshman team was actually something to be of note. But there were 6 people total on that list. Literally everyone who's on JV. It was like 20 people. It was popping. There were 6 motherfuckers on the freshman list. Do you know how many people are on a soccer field at one time? It's not 6. It's not even close. How do you even have a team with 6 people? How does it even work? That's like half. They would bring down kids from JV to play in the freshman team. And so I played freshman my first year. I played freshman soccer. But it wasn't that big of a deal because it was still my friends and it was still people I liked hanging out with. So I didn't feel too bad about it. That was freshman year. The next year, sophomore year, flash forward after playing a year of freshman. I'm once again in front of the school looking at papers. But this time, I'm smarter. I'm wiser. I understand that I shouldn't even look at this piece of paper that says varsity because even though I'm a sophomore, the team is almost all juniors and seniors and a couple freak underclassmen who are just insane. So I jump straight to the JV paper and I'm like, finally. I sat through a year of torture in freshman and now I can hang out with all the big dogs in JV. Walk over to the paper and what do I see at the top? If not my main man, Cole Bennett. I'm like, what? Wait, what? I'm looking through the list, and then I glance over, almost scared to look at the freshman paper, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? What's going on? I'm a sophomore. How does this make sense? They put me on the freshman team again. My coach actually was the guy. You remember from the story who I said threw up during tryouts? That was my coach that year. And I was on the freshman team. And this time, it was not Pipo Pog. Because even though being on freshman team stung a little because all my other friends were on JV, I still was with my shitter friends. But now, I was all alone. Naruto music started playing from a distance. No. Fuck, man. I can't do another year of this. But luckily, I didn't have to. Because, as I said, the freshman team barely worked the first year. We only had like 6, maybe 8 people by the end of it. We had to bring down JV players. The schedule for JV got more rigorous, so they couldn't bring down any people. And your boy, after a month on the freshman team, got pulled up to JV. Not because of my skill, but because they didn't have enough players to do games for freshman teams. Let's go. That's a technicality that I will take every day of the fucking year. They literally couldn't run freshman games because there weren't enough humans. So they're like, yeah, just go JV. And I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. And it was the best year of my goddamn life. My coach was some Brazilian dude named Arnarni, who we all kind of respected because he was Brazilian and assumed he was good when he was young. But when he talked, he seemed like he didn't know what the fuck was going on. He had a thick-ass accent. He would never, ever refer to me by my name because he didn't know how to say it. German and Brazilian, pretty different languages. Excuse me, Portuguese. Portuguese and German don't mesh too well. He never dropped the Ludwig. So instead, he would refer to me by Lug. Lug. And I thought literally the entire year it was just like his cute little way of saying Ludwig until he sent an email at the end of the year to all the players and he literally addressed it L-U-G. And I was like, does this motherfucker think I came out the womb and my mom said lug? Is he for real? I was like, damn, homie, you're crazy. He had a lot of great quotes. Lug, you run like you take a shit. And it was an all-around good time. The vibes were high. Let me tell you, we did not play that well. But the vibes were high. And it was probably the most fun I had to that point playing soccer. Because, you know, I would get on the field and I'd do my defense thing and whatever, and we'd lose, but no one really gave a shit. It's fucking JV, homie. Everybody wants to get in varsity. Let me tell you, varsity ain't all it. I mean, if you love competitive spirit and competition, it's kind of hype. But JV's fucking pog, man. Nobody gives a shit. We go on the bus for an away game, and the only thing we're talking about is how we're going to get McDonald's on the way back, what we're going to order. That's it. Because we go on the same bus with the varsity folk. They're all in the back. We ready. We ready. And we're in the front like, I think I'm going to get chicken McNuggets. It was fun as fuck. And so I had a great time, JV. Great time with the coach. And then came the real juice. The one you guys are here to hear about. Then came junior year varsity. And to this point, obviously, my soccer skill hasn't been lauded too much. I still played defense. I don't think I had too much of a grasp of the game. I figured out halfway through sophomore year, and this is real, that people don't look at the ball when they play. They look up. And I was like, what? But how do you know where the ball is? So needless to say, I wasn't that good, but I played a lot more in JV, and the competition was better, so I thought I got a little better. And so when junior year came around, and I was an upperclassman at this point, I decided I was going to try my best. I remembered Alex in my freshman year. I remember how hard he worked and how his throw up, come back to the field was so inspiring that he made varsity. And that honestly, if you ever put your mind to something, you can achieve it. And so junior year, tryouts start, and we have a brand new varsity coach. His name's Ricky. He's young, and he knows what he's fucking doing. And I was like, okay, this new guy seems weird. So we go to tryouts, and I do my thing. But the one thing that I'm doing the most out of anything at all, it's not playing the game. It's not vomiting and coming back to field. The one thing that I'm doing better than anybody on that tryout field, I was dropping hot lull dubs. Your boy has honed his skill. He knows where he's good. Because I really loved JV for the energy. Honestly, it was the best part of my day when I would have soccer practice because we would just vibe and have good times. It was basically like how I feel when I come to stream now. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, this is going to be hype. We're going to be able to chill, have a good time, drop lull W's, have fun. And so I'm just having a blast. Everybody's serious as shit. I'm trying. But at the end of the day, I'm still like, hey, man, your sock's untied. We're having fun. And Ricky sees this. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because he noticed, he called me out a couple times. He's like, Ludwig, keep it down. I was like, all right, whatever, man, whatever. You do you. And then the day comes. I'm back in the front of the school. And this time, my eyes don't go to freshman list. That's not a possibility because it's not even a thing anymore. It goes to the varsity list. And I'm like, maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year we finally do it. Maybe we fuck around and make it happen. What you gonna do? Make your dreams come true. And so I look at the list. And what do you know? At the top of the goddamn list, it's your boy, Ludwig Ogren. I'm on varsity. And I'm like, wow, what the fuck? I was losing my mind. I was like, how did this happen? Me? Varsity? And all my friends are there. It's like I'm transported back to when I was 11 on the club team for the first time. It's literally just a list of me and my friends' names in sequential order. I'm like, yeah, I literally think to myself like, damn, I'm kind of dog shit at the game. And so we show up. Ricky, again, young guy. He understands team energy. And our school was never that good at soccer. We had never really made a state championships. We had never even made like a top 4. We weren't that good. But Ricky wanted to turn things around. And we had a very good squad. And so I was like, okay, this is hype. This is going to be fun. And what do I do first day at practice except drop hot little dubs? And that's what I do for the first month. In fact, it's kind of all I did for the first month because I was slowly realizing that I wasn't getting on the field much. In fact, I wasn't on the field at all. And I was like, what's going on? Because I would go on the bus to go to the game, but then I wouldn't go in the game. And I was like, okay. So, I'm just dropping lull dubs, and then, one of my friends would get subbed out. He'd come on the bench. I'd be like, hey, check out these lull dubs. And he'd be like, yeah, cool. And then he'd go play, and I'd be like, all right. But it was cool. It was cool. It was like a rotating audience. I could repeat my content. Nobody would know. The bench was a riot. I remember every single game, Ricky would have to turn to the bench and be like, shh, guys, come on. We have to look professional. And I'd be like, but I would never see the field. And I was like, that's not too bad. I'm a junior. It's okay. We even started a fantasy football league, and I had never even watched football. I'm from New England. I'm a Pats fan. I think you guys know this now. But up to 2011, I never watched football. Not a minute of it. I cared about video games, not foosball. Foosball's dumb. And so, you know me. Once your boy puts his mind to something, he grinds. And so I found out we were doing a fantasy football league. I spent nonstop 4 hours a day grinding information about football. Every stat you could possibly conceive. I still think I know more about the 2011 football season than any other season. And so my draft, and this is only for people who kind of understand football and fantasy football, because we're from New England, the team I drafted was, and I quote, round 1, Tom Brady. Which is very dumb. You should never draft a QB, especially Tom Brady round 1. Round 2, Wes Welker, because he's on the Pats. I drafted like a kicker round 6 because like nobody's got a kicker. These guys are fucking dumb as bricks. Week 1 of our fantasy football league, it's me versus Ricky. And his team, because we're doing Yahoo, it has projections. It's like A+, best projections. My team was the worst. And I don't know if you guys followed football. I believe it was the 2011 season. But the New England Patriots played against the Miami Dolphins, I believe Monday Night Football. And my team was down like 30 points to Ricky. And that Monday night game with the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins, Tom Brady threw a 99-yard touchdown pass to Wes Welker on the left side of the field. 99 yards, a record for both of them for the longest touchdown throw and reception of their careers. This is all true. You can look it up right now. Everybody went to practice the next day, and we roasted Ricky. 1, imagine losing to me and how merciless I would be. 2, imagine losing to me when I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and you're the fucking coach, and you're the best. I still won't let that go. We still play every year, the same boys. My name is Poseidon's Nipples. As you can see, you know, with fantasy and with just dropping lull W's, soccer was truly just a fun place to be for me. And I tried to keep it that way. I tried to keep it as fun as I could. And I remember at one point, because I did not play a single minute on field my junior year, I brought it up to Ricky. And he said this unprompted. He said to me, Ludwig, you're one of the most important people on this team. And I was like, homie, I haven't I still haven't figured out what a center back is. I'm gonna say that. And he was like, no, I'm being real. Because what you bring to this team is good energy. Everybody has a good time. And I think a lot of that to do is with you. Sure, sometimes you take it too far, but it's always fun. And when people like being here, they also are happy to work while they're here. I didn't hear anything. All I heard was impact player, Peepo Pog. And so, junior year ended when senior year started. Because we had done all right my junior year. When senior year started, it was like the dream team. I was there to drop hot lull W's. All the players who were on varsity junior year were still on the team senior year. We didn't really lose any seniors that were good. And we had the absolute powerhouse. And we were eyeing the state championship. And I'm still dropping lull W's. I was publicly named bench captain, which, if I say out of context, might not seem that hype, but I carried it as a badge of honor because I always thought anytime we had a bad game, a close loss, it's my job to drop hot lull dubs. And I would come prepared. I would never miss an opportunity. And that season, we were fucking good. And I even played. That's right. I played for the first time ever on varsity. And not in some garbage-ass overtime, because I'd done that before. I don't really count that. We're up 3-0 with 5 minutes left. That doesn't count. I got to play in a competitive 1v1 game. And within 5 seconds of being on the field, you know what happens? I see a kid with a ball. I charge for the ball. He falls. I have a yellow card. And I was ejected from the game. Literally within 5, I am not even kidding you. I went on the field. I ran for the ball. The kid fell over. I was charged with the yellow card. When you're charged with the yellow card, you immediately have to get out of the field. I was like, what the fuck? The one time. It wasn't even a slide tackle. I just hit his shoulder, and he's a pussy soccer player. Me, the alpha gamer, all right, totally prepared to take a hit because you know how that shit go. I'm willing to die for my team. Stay upright. Kid flops. Looking like LeBron James. And I'm out. And I go back to the bench. And Ricky doesn't turn back to me. All I hear is... I'm like, shut the fuck up, Ricky. Shut the fuck up, man. I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. You shut the fuck up. Put my heart in that field. And there it was. That was it. That was it. That was high school sports. Ricky would go on to coach for a few more seasons before leaving. No team would ever have the success that ours did. I would go on to never play soccer ever again.